Hey guys, many have asked me what build on Irelia season 16. I'm a one-trick Irelia on the EUS server, 1.2k LP peak almost, and I will show you today what to build on Irelia season 16. Okay, let's start with whatever is trash out of the way. Sorry for the breathing ASMR in advance. If you're a Grand player, leave the video immediately, thank you. The blade, if you can. This shield is really bad because it really has insane healing on the Q, insane damage multiplier, which means the 2.5% on D-Blade heals way more than any other starting item. Cull is kinda situational, like if you have a very passive lane, you cannot really get any kills, you are sitting exactly on 450 gold on your first base, I would go Cull, most likely. DLM, it's like generally bad, but like you could make it a situational, because for example, if I'm playing Irelia ADC, and they have one guy which is AP, one guy which is AD, then I would go DL, but this tier list will be Irelia top lane, so I'll just put it here. In games where you have either you just died at the start of the game, so you just instantly buy Refillable Potion, because that's the only thing that can save the game. It's like 200 HP for the start of the game, because the damage is very low. So the tendency for like the healing over time is going to be maximized. You get the full value at the start of the game. So it's like generally just like getting 200 HP for 150 gold compared to Ruby Crystal, which is 400 gold for 150 HP. So you get more HP even from it. Boots, you don't always want to rush them unless you're playing into a melee character in lane for the Jak'Sho traits plus plated. Like you go with cloth armor, so like you build it every game, but you don't always want to rush for it. Some games, like if you are playing into, for example, Sion, Shogat, champion like this, you're better off just ignoring the minor components. You're going to win them in lane anyway, so you don't really want to rush for Jak'Sho traits. You can get it via Vampiric Scepter and Dagger. So generally what you usually do is you just go, rush towards the first item, then Blade of the Winking does HP damage, so you just go for it. So you would go like Boots first buy 50% of the games, most likely. Situational on whatever you build. Generally bad. Irelia is a champion with dashes. She doesn't really benefit from movement speed, so it doesn't really matter. Situational as well on the plated. We both know the reason why. When they have a lot of CC, some AP damage, Mercs is banger. Also, it's really good for the Jack of all trades. And plated for the same reasoning for the other side. Useless for us, useless for us, useless for us. Situational, like Wincon is special. Like, I would say Wincon is special. The reason why is like, 70% of the games you will go Mercs, because there is so much CC and stuff, and you don't really want to commit all the way to Wits End every single time for tenacity. And plated wouldn't give you too much value, because you're going depth dance anyways, so the passive is not that big. And in lane you're playing into a Rumble or Cannon or Teemo or something like that. So you would just opt to go Glutonus. For us, Bramble, I could maybe go this item into champions like Darius, Warwick, Fiora, but I wouldn't. Usually I would opt to something else, but I guess you could go for Warwick. The issue is like if you get slightly ahead, you just can't ignore the guy on tower, which is very good play on Irelia, because she has a lot of lifesteal, so you don't mind sucking your HP bar to hit the tower, ignore the guy on top lane. If you know the enemy jungle is bot side and you see everyone on the map, you know you're not getting punished. So if you have phone mail, the passive of the item returns damage, and then you take aggro of tower. If the guy has CC, you're just instantly dead, so you can't even ignore the guy and make a play. So it just kills your game sometimes, which I wouldn't recommend. Vamp is goated. You don't always want to rush it first though. Like if you have a generally weak laner against you, or a champion that you need to end the fight soon in the start of the game, then you want to go pickaxe first. The reason why is it gives you a really good solo kill pressure, because you have 25 flat AD instantly compared to 15 AD, and the life steal doesn't really matter. If you're, let's say you got a first blood, you crush the wave, you're playing into GP Jace, Kale, anything like that. Sometimes even a Darius as well. I would recommend pickaxe instead. Anyways, that's for Vamp Scepter. Sheen, the component doesn't really matter too much. QSS as well. Seekers is actually win con is special. Like Seekers active could win you games in a crazy way. Like in games where you don't need any stats, you don't need too much armor, you don't need HP, you don't need anything. And the game is going to be decided on team fighting. Seekers is your best friend. That will win you the game. 100%. 10 out of 10 times. You go into a fight, they have Viego, they have insane actives, they have Oriana ults, they have like crazy stuff. You can. Irelia has no out, she has no dashes out, she has only in. So the fact that you go in like that means they have to react to you. You have like insane damage, you are acting like an assassin bruiser, which is really OP in teamfights. So if you manage to activate Seekers and get away with full HP bar while wasting like one or two big ultimates or anything like that, and then you have a tricky position for them to play into 3 seconds later, it will win you the game. The Zhonyas as well. Magi is useless. Okay, Knight's Vow actually win con is special. Let's say in a game where you need some armor, you don't really care about passives. For example, Randuin is an item you would buy when you see like two characters running crit chance, right? Like Viego Jungle, Samira ADC or some shit like that. So you would just be running Knight's Vow, you put it on your win con, like let's say you have a 20 kills ADC, right? Then having Knight's Vow going to win you the game. Or in games where you're super behind and you have like teammates that are doing pretty well, then just go Knight's Vow, allow you to tank a little bit better and then just play for your team. Like it's a win con special type situation. As a util. This is like situational, I would say. Between situational to 50% of your games you build it, because there is so many crit chance abusers at the moment, like so many Graves, Viego in the jungle type champs, and ADC is always building crit, right? So almost every second game you're building Randuins, and also it's really good item for solo kills on the side, because you have an active which is a slow, which guarantees your E to hit. So it makes the game way easier as well in a 1v1 scenario, and then also in teamfight you can just slow everyone, so it's really good. And the stats on it are really good compared to the gold value. So like this item is really good, and like I'm opting between like the 50% ish, you know. Okay, Witsend. Witsend is situational. I wouldn't always build Witsend. Witsend I would build when I don't have mercs. It's a game where I needed to go plated for XYZ reason. And I'm lacking tenacity and I need magic resist as well. Like they have either a very strong AP character, because there is at least always one AP guy in the game. And if they have two AP champions, then Witsend looking kinda good. And also if you don't have Endless Hunger, which is a really good item for tenacity. So it's kind of situational, but it's really good item overall, because it's kind of cheap to get the item. And sometimes in some matchups you could go this item first. Like for example, if the jungle is AP or laner is AP, then you could be running Witsend first. It could be really nice. And we got a follow while recording banger. Okay, Mortal Reminder. The Eden strat that gives me like 1 KLP. This item, I'm not even kidding, is like built in 80% of your games. Like it's such a good item. Like it's anywhere between 50 to 80% of the games. Lately I've been having this item every single game for so many reasons. First of all, majority of the top lane champions are completely stat checking you on their second item. You can never beat them, but Mortal Reminder breaks the game and allows you to win them on your second item. For example, Olaf, Warwick, Darius, Fiora, uh, Camille sometimes. Like a lot of these champions that tend to go a lot of armor have insane healing in their kit, and they have a lot of HP bar as well. Like this item makes you OP because it synergizes with the Blade of the Wind King so well on a crazy level, because the 30% armor pen allows the Blade of the Wind King physical AD, current HP current damage to work together and make it so the Blade of the Wind King is working way stronger. Plus, the second reason is usually on the second item slot you already want to be pressuring for turrets. Armor pen percentage is so OP in Season 16 meta because every plate you take on tower, which the wall turrets in the game have platings on them, gives the turret like 30 armor and magic resist per plate that you procced for like 1 minute forward. So armor pen percentage makes it so you shred the turret through the armor it gains, which is really really OP on the push. So it gives you the split push power you need, it gives you the 1v1 power you need, it gives you insane team fighting because you reduce healing from 5 people. There is always healing in the game on a crazy level. The item has inbuilt grievous wounds, and also like you could be lucking out on crit, which is not really luck on Irelia, because you cancel like 6 autos in a fight in like 2 seconds because you're rushing attack speed items and you have like the Q, so you get a lot of auto attacks in between. You're guaranteed to get at least 1 crit, which basically acts like the Sundered Sky passive. So like this item is actually one of the best items to run in the game for Irelia as a second or third item. Like it's a really really good item. It's sleeper OP on her. And it's relatively cheap, right? It's only 3k gold. It's not too bad. Kraken, basically it's like situational, I would say. Because Mortal Reminder gives you what Kraken gives you, just like killing the other guy faster, which is the main reason you want. But Kraken has other usages. Like Kraken allows you to take a lead into the moon. Like it's crazy. The damage amplifying works on camps, works on objectives, works on the people. You can prepare up the passive on the tower and then proc it on the champion. So it's really helpful on the dives. Angles, this item is really really good. Going this item is like, normally just what happens for me is I used to be taking this item to do the job that Mortal Reminder is doing for me now, which is like as a second item when I want to dive the guy, for example playing into GP, champion relatively squishy, so I can just go like to the tower, 2 autos on the tower, then I attack the GP, land the ult, attack him twice more, another proc for the Kraken, and then the guy gets evaporated from it, and it's kinda insane. Or like something else could be is sometimes I would run in games where there is not too much OP champions for catching on side lane. Like not all these bar champions, Zillion champions that have insane movement speed. Then I would go Kraken and Hullbreaker together because both of these have 4% movement speed, which allows you to outrun champions just by naturally right-clicking backwards, because Irelia has no dashes on a direction they want to choose or anything like that. So Irelia is guaranteed dead on silent every time she goes there, if there is any enemies trying to make a play. Because every champion in the game outruns her, the only thing she can do is dash in. So having a lot of movement speed allows you to sometimes just outrun the people and then you're fine. So that's when I build the Kraken, basically. Okay, Terminus, he just got buffed last patch. This item is like a really good item, but I would say it's a situational. This item, low key, the only times I build it is when I go this item first. This item is a really really good starting item, which nobody abuses on Irelia. I think I'm the only one that's building Terminus first, ever. In games where you would build Terminus first, it would be into champions like Cassante, Sion. Sion not really, you have Blade of the Ruin King, so it's kind of working like that. But it could work perfectly fine into Sion as well, as first item. The reason why I don't really want it into Sion because it has HP in the passive, so Blade gets more value. But anyways, like you build this item into Cassante, into Ornn, into Jax, stuff like that. Like I would go Terminus first, into Jax, Cassante, Ornn. And then you have a really good item, which is scaling really well now into the late game, because they added 10% bonus damage for the passive. So the passive is rocking anywhere to 60, 70 AP damage every single auto attack in the late game, which is really, really nice, compared to its earlier days where it would be stuck on only 30 AP. And the fact they made it that you fully proc the item on 6 attacks instead of 10 means that now you land an E, you have instantly fully proc Terminus if you landed an E, because you get auto Q, and then the guy just outside of the ult and you already have the passive almost fully procced. So that difference makes it a really good item into Jax as a first item, because you completely counter his ultimate, which is the only issue I really have into the Jax matchup. So Terminus first is such a game changer into all of these hyper tank champions that build a lot of armor and magic resist. And the champions which stat check you on a crazy level like that, and they don't have too much healing or HP bar, right? So that's when I would build the Terminus. Experimental Hexplate is win con its condition is special. I would build it only in games where I don't really care about item actives. Usually I realize a champion that scales off the item actives on the on it, like Terminus on it effect, Kraken on it, Wisent on it, Blade of the Wind King, which disappeared, somewhere will reach it on it, like crazy items all around, which are all working as on it. So that's how the champion scales. This item doesn't give you any on it or anything special. It gives you insane movement speed when you press ult. And also it gives you extra attack speed and stuff like that and a lot of HP. So this item scales really well with a lot of armor and stuff like that. I would build it into champions that have no real counterplay on the sides. Something like Set. This item is really good because Set is going to be building a lot of HP to just make it so if he has enough HP, he can one-shot you with the W and you have no counterplay to it because he chains it with the E and you're always dead. Like there is always going to be a minion running after the guy if you try to progress into him in the silent and you just get stat checked generally. So the way to counter Set champion, for example, is by building extra HP, that way he cannot one-shot you. It works also great into Cho'Gath, because Cho'Gath kind of works the same, with his ultimate just doing 1.3k damage, but his ability rotation do like 800, and then you have exactly 2k HP, so you just die. So the extra HP kind of counters him. So that's the scenarios I would build Experimental Expert, plus in games where it's very, very special, the movement speed from pressing ult could be really, really helpful on side lane. If you just press ult on someone, then you sprint the fuck out on the side, so it's really, really nice. Garbage item, don't build it. Very, very useless. There is no real usage for it in the game. The stats to value is very, very low. You are better off building anything else, or just sitting on executioners and just building towards a different item. If you ever think about the stats you need from this liver, maybe if there is a Ramos in the game, I would build it. Or like if my full team is AD, but like it's not real scenarios. Hullbreaker, 80% of your games you're going to build that. Really good item, makes your split push really, really OP, gives you the tankiness you need, gives you movement speed percentage which you're lacking on the side lane. Sometimes it will be the difference between you getting out or not, or catching a guy for the kill. Because it gives you like extra one step, which is very big difference sometimes. I would really recommend building Hullbreaker second almost every single game. Also, like in games where you rush Terminus first, Hullbreaker is going to be mandatory on the second. Because you need to already be pressuring turrets. And the armor and medicals you get from Terminus scales really, really well with the HP you get from Hullbreaker, so it's like crazy mathematics like that. Basically, you just build it every single time where you're either ahead, either you're playing into a champion that this extra damage will be enough to kill him and you don't really need anything special like Mortal Reminder or Terminus or whatever, or Kraken. You will be building it every single game where there is not real any special item you need, not even regarding to kill pressure on the lane. You just want to be pressuring to it. And in games where you know the game is going to be decided on your split push pressure, which is like 80% of the games on Irelia. She rarely wants to team fight, she's a really big team fight character. So that's it for the Hullbreaker. Trash item, endless, situational, I would say. Endless is just like a really, really OP item. If you ever manage to sneak this item into the build without any punishment, like you don't need any armor, you don't need any HP, you don't need any split push power, you don't need anything in the game, it just makes sense to build Endless. Like it gives you infinite amount of stats on Irelia. Because Irelia has one of the longest ultimate cooldowns in the game. Getting so much abilities from such an item, and plus you get tenacity, which is what you kinda want on the Irelia, is really, really good on an insane level. And I would recommend every single time you can get away with building Endless. And you don't need the HP from Hullbreaker, you don't need the armor pen from Mortal Reminder, you don't need the passive from the Randuins on timer, like because it just catches a slot for you, right, and then delays your game by 6 minutes. Sometimes you just need to be thinking which item will give me better strength for the current game state in the next 5 minutes. And then like if eating turrets and taking them way faster down is going to be more impactful, then you will want to go Hullbreaker every single time. Or if I can't progress in lane and the reason why is the other guy touches me because of his healing and armor, then Mortal Reminder would be making more sense than Endless. So basically, like the endless item is very overtuned, very OP. I would really like to build it in every single game, but you just can't because you always need something else more impactful than this. But when you can get it away with this item, wow, this item is amazing. Maw of Malmortius, I would say it's like 50% of your games, actually, because it's way better than Witsend for you. You are already overlapping insane amount of attack speed. Like every single item here is like attack speed component. Blade of the Winking as well. You have like attack speed from the runes. Like you have this rune. You have the minor rune going for attack speed all of the times. Blade of the Winking, Terminus, Kraken. You always have at least like 2 of these. You don't need too much attack speed, so the Witsend giving you only flat attack speed is really lame. Which means like Maw of Malmortius AD would be better for you for killing the minions, because in season 16 the minions are way tankier than previous seasons. So if you don't have the AD of Maw of Malmortius in the mid to late game, you could be not one-shotting the caster, which is the worst case scenario for Irelia. And instead of like auto Q for the melees, you just need like 2 auto attacks, 3 auto attacks to kill the melee with a Q. So it's really lame. And the stats on it are super insanely high. The cost difference is like 400. It's kinda costing more, but like it's worth the investment. It counters so much stuff in the game, like so many champions get off guard by the shield you're getting. Plus, when the shield procs, and that's your time to shine because you're running last stand, right? Which gives you bonus damage, and maximum bonus damage is 30%. So, like the shield procs, you get 10% Omnivamp with the damage amplifying from here, and Conqueror is already fully procced. Like the Omnivamp with it is going to be nuts. Like the even if you're not playing into that many AP champions, just like a very strong Syndra, a very fat Syndra for example, could be one-shotting you if you don't have the extra shield from Maw of Malmortius and the magic resist. Then like the mathematics with all of that making this item really insane. Probably I would build it in like 50+% of my games. So it's kinda like that. And nothing else to add on this item. Sundered Sky just getting changed at the moment, so I'm not really sure about the item. So I'll just go according to the logic before the rework they're doing to it, which is like changing the gold cost, nerfing the passive or something like that, I'm not sure. This item was basically, you look at the item, it gives you the same exact stats as Hullbreaker, but it does something completely different. So the logic about it was in games where you win the game for a fact on the team fights and you are ahead, and you know you can kind of stat check them, and you want the one-shot potential on the squishes as well, then this item gives you all the around you need. Like you can one-shot the squishes with it, you get 1 crit at the start, which is really good. Since season 16 crit chance is, crit damage rather, is 200%, which is very high. It gives you the HP you need to tank, same as the Hullbreaker, same exact stats. Gives you abilities, which is really nice to have. It gives you the outplay potential with the healing when you're low. It gives you like so much stuff, and you can poke it on every single member of the team fight, which is scaling really well with depth and stuff like that. So like this item, I would go every single time I didn't already build Hullbreaker, and I need this tankiness of Hullbreaker, but I want the power to be on team fights, so Sundered Sky would be the item. I'm not sure if it's still going to be like that because they're changing the item and I didn't really take the chance to glance at the stats or everything. So the Blade of the Winking, the best item for Irelia in the game. You are taking this item first in 80 to 90% of your games first. The only times you don't take this item first is when Terminus exists. Like you have to go with that into like a Sante or own tank champs that don't really build too much HP. And then always you could like build Blade of Winking later on as like a fourth item. Because the HP current is like really good scaler for the game, right? Because everybody HP goes up, so it means the item passive damage goes up. So going this item even late game is really good. You basically build it like 100% of your games. Like I haven't built Blade of the Winking maybe 5 games out of 100, like 800 or some shit like that. Like it's really game changer. The item is the best. No argument about it, for all the reasons. And GA win con is spatial to situational. Like when you are extremely far ahead, this item is the best you can have because it gives you the ability to play without fear. I would say win con is special. It gives you the ability to play in without the fear of dying because you're getting a respawn. You cannot throw your shutdown. Like it's an item you build only when you are far ahead. Never for any other reasons except for the games where everybody is already full build or like you know the game is so volatile on a crazy level where getting a respawn or an active of Seekers, a respawn of GA, like reducing the shields, making the AEC tankier, this type of scenarios, GA is also really good. Like you get the respawn, which allows you to do crazy stuff sometimes and bait out some crazy stuff. And then you have insane lifesteal as well, right? So it's really, really OP. So like this item would be like perfect. Like when you're super far ahead, you could build it as a third item. And it gives you some armor tankiness which you need. With the Hullbreaker HP, for example, you're already one-shotting everyone because you're super far ahead. It gives you extra AD, so it's really nice. And then you can just do whatever you want without the risk of dying. Like you could be going only because of this item, you could speeding your game up from 10 kills to 20, 30 kills in a game. Just because of how aggressive you can play without the punishment of playing aggressive. And it allows you to also end the game very, very soon, which you normally wouldn't. And you cannot throw the game because you have a revive, so you don't really throw a shutdown unless like you do something extremely idiotic. But like really good item. Wincon is special, maybe top of the list. I would say like that's when I would love it the most. QSS. Maybe like extreme situational one-time use of it like would be either Malzar champion, which you are the only target in the game, and you are 100% getting one-shotted in this stun duration even if you have 50% tenacity. Because you're just going to be chained into more and more CC and you're just dead. And there's nothing else you can do. Then I would go QSS or playing into Nasus. Like you kind of fight a guy out, he Ws you, it's like so long, and then you can't really do anything. Then you could also have this item, you don't really have the ability to go tenacity from the items. You're just way too committed on other items for it. Then maybe, but like overall, like generally bad top of the list, I would say. Like very, very rare extreme cases. Jak'Sho is situational on the most extreme level. You almost never build this item. The only time you will build this item is you already have a lot of HP, you have Blade of the Ruin King. The champions in the game don't require you to have a passive to survive. For example, when you want magic resist, you go Maw of Malmortius for the shield passive and the Omnivem to fight your life back at it. And for like other scenarios, a lot of CC, magic resist, tenacity gives you all of it. The guy has a lot of crits, armor, you need HP, armor, crits, you go Randuins. Like every single time you just have the other items that are doing the job better because you need some, like you don't never need all of that. You need the passives of the items to survive. So this just gives you basically flat stats, which majority of the cases is not going to cut it. But there is a very, very special but because this item scaling is one of the best scaling in the game with Terminus, because Terminus gives you armor and medic resist. It scales way better into the game now, so you build it in more games. And on top of that, the armor and medic resist you get from Terminus as it's procs. This item is passive. The longer you are in fight, the more stats you gain, up to a maximum. So basically, you have this item is really good item when you have Terminus. So in games where you have Terminus, I would go Jak'Sho because you just get more value from the item. That's the only time I would build it. Sterax, very, very rare. Wincon is special, I would say. Like team fighting scenario, and you just need to survive, but you don't really want to commit anything out of the ordinary, like Randuin, Maw of Malmortius, because basically this item locks you out of building Maw of Malmortius, which is really bad for you. And you, a lot of the time, if you need tenacity, you have the Wit's End, you have the Endless Hunger, you have the Merc Threads. Like these items will give you the tenacity you need. You just flat HP. I really don't really enjoy base AD or bonus AD. too much, she just benefits from item passives. This just gives you survivability, so you're better off just building something that gives you the same exact stuff with item passive that values more for you. But like in some rare cases, it could be the game breaker. Let's say like there are 4 AP champions, sometimes it happens for some reason, because there is a lot of mages bot nowadays. So like you could be rushing Wit's End because it gets a lot of value with tenacity here, and then you get tenacity here with the extra HP and the AD, and then you can never die. And you can just keep stacking items up, but like normally you just go Maw of Malmortius, so you see why the Wincon is special. Like it's very rare to find where this item succeeds. Usually you're just better off building the other items that do different job for you, right? Okay, anyway, Zhonya's Wincon is special, same reason as Seekers. Sometimes you just commit for the full Zhonya's because the game tends to be the same reason to win the game. So you just fully build the Zhonya's out of the Seekers. Dominic's generally bad. If you need the armor pen, stuff like that, you just go Mortal Reminder. Or you go Terminus now because the item is better. You just end up being getting more value either of the lifesteal reduction, the grievous wounds, or just like Terminus give you better stats for it. So like item generally bad. Like there's 2 items that doing the job for you, don't need it. Stradbaker, bad, don't build it, bad. Dev Dance, best item in the game, possibly. This item is so helpful for the Jak'Sho trades. Other than that, the item is very extremely strong. You could build it third every single game and you will have success with it. It gives you the ability to dive any single person in the game without the punishment of dying right after, because you have the HP from Hullbreaker, for example, enough overloaded damage from the Blade of the Wind King, so you just want to survive. Death Dance has a damage reduction over time, so it counters also the AP champions, because always AP champions are kind of bursty. It's very rare that the AP champion is a DPS, so the damage over time tends to work perfectly into mages because you can just kill them after they use the rotation and you're left 20% HP, the damage reduction over time. And then you kill them, it deletes the damage over time, you get healed for it, and then you're completely fine. It just does way too much for you, like I would beat it like in 80% plus of my games. Bad item, bad item, bad item, bad. Okay, that's it, I guess, from what I can tell on the items. And if you guys want, I could be also doing a rune page, what to take in type of runes, because some runes also depends on the items you go sometimes in the game. For example, a quick example I could give is there is the minor choice between these two. They're sitting on the same line. You're running this every game. So I would go this minor rune when I'm rushing Terminus first. And for majority of the other cases, I would go this minor rune instead, which gives you attack speed. For the other cases where you don't go Terminus first, so that's one example I could give you. So if you guys want runes for the champion, just tell me in the comments. I will be more glad to do so. But that's basically it for the item guide. That's what you're going to be building every single game most likely. Let me just fix it slightly better for you. Like we don't have all the items here, like I can see there is no pickaxe and stuff, but like it's still like the most important stuff are kinda here, right? I guess we could just move out the weaker items for now, so it doesn't really confuse us, because we want to be looking more on the full items, right? And I guess we can remove the potion as well. D-Blade as starting item is important, like a full item on its own. And boots could remove. Okay, so that's basically it, right? Okay guys, you can take a picture if you want, anything like that. Thank you guys very much if you made it up until this part of the video. And hopefully see you in the next, and see you on the live streams, always live. On the Irelia, currently grinding to Challenger. Very close to it, 1.2k almost on the peak. Just need a few more wins and we're there, right? Okay, anyways, GG guys.